Hey, welcome everybody. Oh my gosh, it's so good to be here. That's one of the songs where I didn't get the 30 seconds of silence.
I was gonna say, I was like, wait a minute.
So we caught a little bit of, we got like the tail end of the, the last one. But hey folks, how's it going? Tyler was, or Plead the Filth, was in the chat when I was streaming on my channel. Fun fact for the viewers at home. I was streaming on my Twitch channel for all the prep. So we were just there. No one knew that we were streaming for a while. So if anyone's here, thank you so much for joining us.
We'll find it over.
This is a little show called DrawBomb Live. I'm Ian, and with me is my lovely co-host Brandon.
Well, thanks.
Why don't you tell them about yourself, Brandon?
Oh gosh, you know, there's so much to say, but I'll start at the beginning. 1990 was
oh, dear.
a year. No, just kidding.
Wait, 1990? Oh no! I know what year you were born. You're talking about...
I was born 90.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought... Sorry, I thought you were... I thought you were born in 1991, and you were going 9 months before that.
Oh, yeah, let's start at the real beginning. So...
I was about to be like, that is a bold choice, sir. That is...
You know...
Forgot that. It's,
Let's start at...
You're like almost a full year older than me.
That's almost, but no need to... Yeah, who's counting? Apparently
I thought it was like half. I thought it was like half. Sorry.
Hey,
I didn't mean to make you feel
like
old. How does it feel, Grandpa? Were you there when they landed on the moon?
Was that... No, I've never been to the moon. Anyways, we're a couple of illustrators who we've come together on the platform known as Twitch to draw things for you and with you with you, for you, next to you,
and inside of you. Yeah.
I've never drawn inside someone.
Me neither.
I feel like what medium would even?
I feel like you make like a patchwork out of like stitches, like medical stitches.
Oh God, that's like some jigsaw type stuff.
That is kind of like some awful like serial killer from the 70s type.
Yeah, like a lot of effort, a lot of like reveling in this sadism. Yeah, they're like they cared about their celebrity back then.
Yeah.
They were like, well, I don't want to be hacky or schlocky, but I do want people to fear me, and I want to be creative. You know,
I want to play with the organs a little bit. Why not?
Yeah, there's an artistic process there for the 70s killers. They did things differently back then.
They did.
Thankfully, we figured out how to find or read DNA, and that just kind of changed the game.
DNA stopped all that.
And they stopped putting lead in everything, which they think is a big reason why previous generations had certain issues.
Well, now we just have mass shooters who get like a way higher body count in like a minute, true. And then like we move on. So it's a little bit.
They also like the celebrity.
They also like the celebrity. So it's like same thing, different package. I think. Which is a morbid way to start this lovely episode. But how are you doing? How have you been this week?
Why don't people watch our show? I don't understand.
Why do we have so few viewers?
It's a feel-good show.
We stopped putting the view count in the bottom because it was embarrassing how little the number was.
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm having a great weekend. My weekend goes till Monday because I'm a freak. I don't abide by the rules that the man put forth. Oh, Saturday, Sunday, that's the weekend. No, for me, it's Sunday, Monday, baby. That's my weekend.
Baby.
So, yeah, no, I'm doing good. Things have been good. Saw some family today. Been getting some work done. It's been good.
Nice, I'm happy to hear that. That's very good to hear. My weekend was well as well. I've been very busy lately, and that's a good thing. Good busy. I've been like...
There's good busy and bad busy, and you're good busy.
I've been good busy. I I keep just getting people coming to me asking me to draw them shit, and like they're actually willing to pay money for it, and
that's the whole plan. That's the dream.
The dream. So that's pretty cool. I actually like talked to some people, like 2 people on, I'd say Sunday, and I think it was Sunday. My days blur together because I never leave this house, but I talked to 2 people, and the one guy was like, it was a member of an old band that I used to work for, Ill Dudes, and like he just hit me up, and he was like, he was responding to like an old message that I sent him like months ago, just like some song I made, and I was like, hey, if you want to check it out, here you go. And then he like finally hit me back, and he was like, hey, that was cool, I dig it, etc., etc. We kind of just like caught up, and then he was talking about like some new release or something like that, how he needed like artwork, and he wasn't like asking me. I mean, it didn't seem that way, at least, and
very conversational. You're saying
it was conversational. I can spot it when a person is like kind of leading a conversation towards like, I want. This is the beginning. It looks like we just caught bitrate again.
I'm gonna keep drawing just so we're not like wasting a bunch of time. Just a little bit.
I think we are back on air.
You stop drawing and just. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna get everything sorted out.
Yeah, it appears we are. Hello.
Hello. My internet pooped out. Because why not? It hasn't done that all week, folks. Sure. Here it did though. So cool. But oh boy. If I can get this thing reconnected.
I like your deer.
I'm gonna have to rejoin just because.
Yeah. Go for it.
DrawPile wants to open a new window. Or maybe it doesn't. Draw something real quick on the screen if you can.
Well, I'm drawing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so DrawPile opens up a new window if you like disconnect and reconnect to the server. So now I gotta. Okay, here we go. It's about set up.
I see the drawings happening on your end, so.
Yeah, I finally got it down to the right window. New window to draw on. Because here's a little peek behind the curtain, folks. I'm actually in the server twice. And what I do is I have one for drawing, and I have one that we just have the camera on. Makes it a lot easier for everybody, but it's also a little more complicated if it pops up. Anyways, that's enough peeking behind the curtain. What were we talking about before my internet decided our show was too awesome?
What was it? It was something, because I remember saying something like that I was expecting to get a reaction out of, and you didn't respond, and then I looked up and you were like, frozen. I guess we'll never know.
Okay, cool. I'm just like so wary. I'm just like constantly checking the other screen, making sure that we're good. But anyways, gosh. We were talking about something. It's gone. The entire conversation. That train is just off the rails. Let's do the usual thing we do when we hit this point. And what have you been playing? What have you been, like, watching? What have you been...
Before we get to that, wasn't it about you getting work? Is that what it was?
Oh yeah! Thank you.
I remember what it was because you said the line, that band got a hold of you, and you mentioned that you're like, and I can usually feel out if they're just trying to get work out of me. But I was like, isn't that, as in your profession, you want people to want to get work out of you, right? Like, obviously, assuming you're charging, which you should be. Always.
Yeah. It was like a conversation though where he was just like talking about like a project that he was working on, like a friend who was talking about a project he was working on, and he was just like, yeah, we're working on some stuff with some album art maybe, which could honestly leave the interpretation that like they've got it taken care of. But I was just like, hey, if you guys ever need something, I'm happy to help. And so he was like, well, yeah, sure, why don't you help us with the thing I just mentioned? And I was like, that's great. So I did a sketch. And the sketch, they liked it, but they wanted to go a different direction. So we had a whole meeting. We figured it out. So now I have a drawing to work off of. I'm going to do that in the week, and they're going to pay me, and that's cool. Oh, yeah. And then that same day, like a few hours later, a friend of mine from college, one of like my first college friends, who I saw Kick-Ass in theaters with him. Which was interesting because I had just seen Kick-Ass on TV again recently, and I was like, that was a good movie. I remember seeing that with... Yeah, it's still pretty good.
I enjoyed it.
Nicolas Cage still great in it. McLovin, whatever happened to him. But yeah, it's good. But yeah, like and so it was just funny that he messaged me, but then he was just like, hey, I'm working on, like, I need a movie poster for, like, this assignment for college. So can you do the movie poster for me? I need, like, a 60s style Bond poster. And I was like, sure. And he was like, how much do you want to be paid? And I was like, what can you afford? And he was like, I can afford this much. I was like, I'll take it.
For any artists who are unaware, that is the correct question. Just ask people what their budget is. I know it seems... Maybe not to everyone, but to me, it took me a second to like work that muscle out where that felt comfortable being just like, whoa. What you fucking got in your pocket, dude? Like,
it feels like that. And it is kind of what you're asking.
Well, it's not.
But it's a more respectful way of doing it. Sorry, go ahead.
I always worry that they feel that's what I'm asking, but the truth is, I have a price in mind, but I am scared to ask everyone it because it will scare some people away.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm willing to compromise for people I like, or some clients that are good to me, if their budget is smaller than I'm hoping. So I'm asking because there might be some wiggle room. But I do, like, if you straight up were like, I'm the richest man in the world, how much do you charge? I wouldn't necessarily, well, if you were that, yes, I would. But I wouldn't necessarily push the price up. I just, I have the price I want to ask, but a lot of people, I know, I corrected myself. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm mainly asking because I have a price in mind, and I may be the one who has to come down a little bit.
I think it's a good rule of thumb where if it's like a small business, if it's like a friend, or it's just like a dude who's like in the same situation you're all just like trying to get by or whatever, ask them to name their price, because chances are they're probably willing to, if they bring up price in the first place, like they're probably willing to pay you like as much as they would like to be able to pay you. Like they want you to do well, they want you to do a good job on their product. So if they could pay you, they're going to try and pay you as much as they can, because they like your work, assuming. So
additional, sorry, keep going.
Oh no, go on. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, additionally, that question is also sometimes being like, I can do a less involved version of what you're asking for.
Yeah.
If your budget's smaller.
If their budget is like super small, like if you're hoping for 200, if they say 50, say like, I gotta scale back, but I can still do this for you if like that's the route you want to go, or you can just say, no, I'm sorry, I can't manage that. If they give you like 100, then you can, it's up to you. But I'll do it. It all
comes down to what you think your time's worth.
Exactly. Like the friend who wanted the Bond poster, he, like I said, name your price, and he said like 300, and I was like, that was way more than I was like even gonna ask, but sure. If you, and I said like, are you okay with paying me that? Because that was kind of a little bit more than like it's what I hope to charge a little bit. Like it's closer to what I hope.
I would say it's a good ballpark for like a poster or something, depending on what it involves.
Yeah, like honestly, for a poster, like because of the amount of work it takes, like I would love to be able to charge $2,000 for a poster. That's not gonna happen unless I'm working for like a movie. Something like that. That might even be low for like a movie poster, like maybe 5,000.
Yeah.
But since it's a friend, like a small business friend, some person, ask them to name their price because they'll tell you what they can afford, and then you can make a decision from there. But it's a very friendly way of getting a price and an easy way as a freelancer for you to sort of cross that bridge without like getting it too tricky. If it's like a big corporation. If it's a big corporation, shoot for the moon. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Ask for the ideal price because it's a drop in the bucket for them. They're like, we paid $200 billion for like the market.
You'll give them your ideal price and they'll go, oh, that's it. Well, yeah.
We're gonna get you a house.
I got more.
Yeah. So that's what you do. And then like once you set that price, then you don't need to ever charge less than that. That's your rate. And then. Thinking about Santa Claus. That's my rates.
Oh yeah.
Every movie I make, they have to pay me $2 million. For the band, I asked for 150 because the last poster I'd done, I did for 100, and I was like, that was like not enough, and like.
Yeah.
I would have liked to ask for at least 200, but still it felt rude. Asked for 150, and he was like, let me check with everybody. And then he just hit me back like an hour ago, and he was just like, we can afford it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm feeling more comfortable with setting a price as a freelancer because I'm doing it
for sure. The more you do it, the more it feels comfortable, and also the more confident you get. And confidence is a big part of it because
confidence is a huge part of it.
Are you okay with paying this much? They're like, no. But if you're like, hey man, this is what it costs, then they're like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
It's usually how it goes.
I'm loving the non-worry about it, like the fact that I can sort of talk about it like this. Makes my life so much
And
easier.
My favorite part, which you're dealing with right now, and I've been dealing with this too, is you've been getting a lot of jobs, so you can actually, you're not like, fuck. Well, if I say no, then I might not get a job. You have jobs. You can like be like, well, if they decide not to do it, no biggie. Yeah. I have other work. And
absolutely.
That's great too. So like now I'm not doing as much shit that I hate because, I can pick the work I want to do more than just take every job and hate half of them.
It's definitely like a snowball. Like we've talked about it before, but like once you like. I haven't even done anything different. Like I've just been posting art more or just doing more commissions for people, but people just keep coming to me. I'm okay, and that's great.
And I mean, you also, I think something worth saying is the more you draw, the better you get, and the better you get, the more people hire you.
Very true.
So you just, the older you get, I imagine it will. And also word of mouth is a big part in our community. Every job you do, that's somebody that will, if they liked what they got, they'll go tell their friends when they're asking about what, like needing somebody. Like that's how I've gotten the majority of my jobs. Is somebody's like, hey, so-and-so said you do good stuff. Can you make me this? And I'm like, yes, I can. Yeah, so that helps too. So that's how it snowballs, I think.
I think so, like you're right.
Foreground man. Sorry, I hogged all the water.
I realized I hadn't drawn any people because I was busy tinkering with the OBS and doing like the background and stuff. So I was got somebody.
See, this is what happens with global warming. All the bomb men thaw out, freeze. I don't know what's happening.
All the bomb men thaw out, and then there's just a bunch of bombs walking around.
This is my conspiracy. The bomb men live in the ice shelf, which is supposed to melt within the next 5 years, and then when we all drown, they will emerge.
Right. I think you cracked the code.
Yeah. His face.
Yeah. Old doofy face.
So I think for the sake of this one, just make it easier. I'm gonna color blue over all the ice cubes and make it lower the opacity so that we can just color underneath and they'll all be.
I love it.
It'll make our lives easier, I think.
I'm loving it. Wait, shit. I just got a letter from McDonald's. They said...
That's why I changed up the song at the end.
That's smart.
Can't sue me.
Can't sue me,
La da 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 da.
It's almost like I want you to finish it because it's like I'm used to the pattern. It's like
I know the commercial's over once I hear that song, so I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah, I'm like so ready. Maybe that's why they put the jingle at the end of the commercial, because you associate it with like, thank God that's over with.
You're done. You don't have to deal with this shit anymore.
Although honestly, like just advertising a burger will make me hungry for a burger. So I get it. Like food, I think is the easiest thing to advertise in the world. Just be like, like if I were making a food commercial, like for like say I had like a burger restaurant, I would just stand in front of a screen and I'd say like hamburger. Hamburger.
Any product that has millions of years of evolution behind it, it makes it easy to sell. If it's like, oh, we can just like pump hamburger smell into the air and people are gonna come buy hamburgers because their ape brain is like, that smells delicious. Not that apes are eating hamburgers, but you know what I'm saying, like food is hardwired. But you know, it's not the same for every product.
Not the same for every
anything
product,
that you have. Anything that you have like a major reaction to just your senses, like that's easy to sell. I think easier to sell.
It's a lot easier. Yeah, that's why like, well, they say sex sells, and you know,
that's another one.
Touch is a sense.
It's another. Well, I mean, you know, mating is hardwired in too.
Mating is hardwired in. That's right.
Maybe more than anything, honestly. That and survival.
And food.
Yeah.
Which is survival, I guess. I guess that falls under the same thing. And I guess survival also falls under, like, you know, sex is sort of like the sort of natural desire to preserve the species.
Also, different steps along our chain is in evolution, like different types of food. So, like, if you go far enough back, a burger is probably not appetizing. Or meat. But, mating, that's just like, that's been in there since the beginning.
The oldest job. Prostitution. So, trying to say is, if you're a prostitute, hit me up. No. But, I
think you're supposed to just hit them up. It's kind of how the whole business works.
I think you're right, yeah. True. Anyways, so what kind of games and what movies have you been playing? We talked about our little freelance.
Movies. Let's see. So, I'm trying to think of the same movies I watched. I don't know if we talked about it last episode. We watched Don't Look Up. I thought that was great.
Oh yeah, Austin liked that too.
Fun.
Austin,
it's kind of freaky because it's very on the nose. It's if you watch it, it's pretty clear what they're doing there. It's about
global warming.
About a lot of things, but I mean mainly about global warming. You could also like draw comparisons to like COVID and stuff. It's about just like
collective indifference.
Yeah, just kind of like the state of the world versus like science and knowledge and things of that nature, and I don't know, just basically how we as a species face a world-ending. I mean, in very specific terms, a world-ending event. But not that COVID's going to end the world, but it's definitely knocked us off our balance a little bit. So that was good. What else? Yeah, we watched The Room together. That was fun. I haven't seen that in a minute, but that's always a fun watch.
That was Zach's friend of the show.
Zach's first time.
Zach's first time seeing The Room.
Wow. He enjoyed it.
A lot of fun. He did enjoy it. He's been quoting it.
It's a hard one not to quote. His voice is very addicting.
Yeah.
To try and mimic.
In a few minutes, bitch.
I did not hit her.
Did not. Good stuff.
That
movie.
Yeah. Games. I just bought. Well, maybe I should. Have you watched anything recently?
I'm trying to think if I have. I've started watching. So, like, an old roommate of mine texted me about this show on HBO called The Landscapers.
I've heard of that.
So I checked it out, and it's very interesting. I haven't. It's only 4 episodes. Each episode's like about 55 to 45 minutes long. So I am like halfway through. So I've watched 2 episodes. I got 2 more to go.
Okay.
I'll probably do that tomorrow morning if I like wake up early or something. Like if I find like some time where I'm calm and because like it's the kind of show where I like a lot of TV shows, mostly sitcoms. I just like to sit down and draw while I'm watching them because
you have to be in the right mood too for certain types of shows.
Very much so, yeah. So for that show, it's very visual. It's very like intentional. It's a very intentional show. Like they make a lot of decisions and it's clear that like they're all very specifically chosen for that reason, and so there's a lot of nuance and like just the cinematography to like keep like an eye on and like watch. And it's a very smart show. It's a true story. It's basically almost like a true crime dramatization sort of thing, but it's done as like a sort of 4-part miniseries, you know? About like this couple in England who, well, they were in England, but they're in France now, and you find out why they're in France.
So they were in London, now they're in France.
Yes, they've been in France for like 15 years.
Something about underpants.
Underpants?
I see London, I see France? No?
Oh, I see. Yeah, they traveled right along the elastic band.
That's what they call that.
Yeah, that's like the good. Tube. That's their name for the tube. But yeah, so it's about this couple and like why are they in France, and then you find out in the first episode. But I don't want to like give too much away because how they sort of present information is very interesting and it's smart. And there's like this whole motif of the fact that the show is a show. Like it's a very serious, like all the acting is well done. But like the very first shot of the show, for instance, you see like them setting up the scene. Like they turn on the like it's like it gives like a little blurb. It's like it kind of tells you the hit like what the show's going to be about. It's like this couple was arrested. They were arrested of this charge and they've been in jail for this long. This is a true story. And while it's doing those subtitles, you hear like somebody say rain, and then like the rain turns on and you see like all the actors standing in place. And then finally once the subtitles are done, they go action, and then like the screen fades from like black and white to color, and then the scene actually plays out. And that's just like one of many situations where like they're sort of alluding to the fact that it is a show, which plays into a certain character in that show, but it also sort of is interesting because it is about a true story, so it sort of
is it a mockumentary?
No, it's not a mockumentary. It's a real story. They have like news footage about it like during the credits, along with footage of them knocking down the sets of the show. Again, so it's like very like it's a true story that they're doing like a dramatization of, essentially. But they're also constantly breaking the fourth wall and doing all sorts of interesting things, like character
stuff they do.
Meta stuff, like fun Wes Anderson-y type stuff. Like, you know, characters are reading an email, and like so like the character is reading the email, and then it shows the person who got the email like going throughout their day, like on the bus or something like that, and then the person's just standing there talking to them, like reading the email, you know, like shit like that. Like,
yeah.
But it's all very interesting. It's very quick, so it doesn't ever get boring. It's very beautiful. It's very well shot. There's this weird depth of field effect going on. I don't know. I think it's trying to recreate sort of old 50s movies depth of field, because there's also a motif with that. It's a very dense show, but it's good.
It sounds very like you said, intentional. It seems like they have a lot of things they're trying to do. It's cool if it's successful at that.
It's interesting. It's doing a lot of things, but it never feels like it's losing track of any of them, which is impressive, because it
has a handle on the things it's trying to do.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a good show.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's on HBO Max. 4 episodes. It'll take you like 3.5 hours to watch, so it's basically a very long movie. Highly recommend it. A roommate recommended it to me. So
got that roommate recommendation, guys. So
roommate recommendation. Ian's roommate recommended. There you go.
We're gonna get that roommate recommendation bump.
Roommate Rex. We should just get a little T-Rex on the side. I'll just ask my roommate to recommend stuff for the show, and then it'll be like a little T-Rex that pops out. Roommate Rex.
Stop eating my things out of the fridge. Rawr.
Clean the dishes, you motherfucker.
Roommate Rex.
Roommate Rex. Diddly do. But anyways, I'll let that roommate know that their recommendation was put on the stream too. They'll be thrilled. They don't know about the stream though. They have
all
no
the
idea.
fans saw it. All the bomb heads saw that.
Yeah. I should ask that roommate to be on this show sometime. They're a graphic designer, so it might, you know.
Oh hell yeah. Oh yeah, you always bring people in, and I never bring any of my artist friends.
Bring a motherfucker in once in a while. Gee,
well,
you brought Matt. I mean, I know Matt.
That's been a while though. That's been years.
You also brought Matt.
I brought Matt, and I brought Matt. I only bring Matts, you know.
You also brought we brought in Derek.
That's true.
How is Derek? I haven't seen him in so long.
I think he's doing great. I haven't seen him in a minute either, but I chat with him every once in a while. We need a game that we can all play again.
Yeah, we do. I would love to play a game with Derek again. I miss him.
Miss that boy.
Miss that boy.
But yeah, I'll bring in some more Matts soon. Don't worry.
Cool. Bring some more Matts and bring your brother.
Yeah, I'll ask my brother to be on the show.
We need to. Did you
all the time? Why can't I? Come on.
Yeah. I'd love to have him on the show. I'd be totally okay with that. Have him
I don't
bring
think he wants to be on the show, but
that's fair.
She's getting bigger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The weirdest part for me is when they start to form sentences.
Oh, she's past that now.
But when they jump from just being a dumb baby to being like a person, you know, and like their words, you know what I mean? That's when it gets weird.
Oh, I do. I've lived about 2 hours away from my family for like the past 8 years or so. So I've gotten used to all my nieces and nephews just like, I see them and they're like, goo goo gaga, oops, shit my pants, and then you leave. You leave for a year or a few months because you gotta go do stuff, and you come back at Christmas, and now they're like, hey, Uncle Brandon, how's it going? And I'm like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
Oh my god, you're a full person now.
You're a human.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
We can't just set you down someplace and then you're there until we go pick you up again. You're now a functional, moving around. You're a person.
If I don't see you for a week, it doesn't mean because you're dead.
But I will say that's like the most fun part when they get like when they get old enough to understand your jokes and when you're fucking with them. That's the most fun.
Because you just got a new friend.
Yeah, but then that's when Thanksgiving becomes me like offering to sit at the kids' table because I'm just like, I'm gonna go hang out with the guys who are talking about Minecraft instead of the people who are arguing over politics.
Yeah. Oh my god, I would be right there at that table with you.
Yeah. So like that's where I'm at. Just for a frame of reference, like 3 Thanksgivings ago, there was a moment where 2 nephews were running, followed by me behind them, and then all of a sudden their mom was like, all right, enough! But she was yelling at them, but I'm like right behind them, like, okay, I'm also a part of this. Like, okay.
You're the troublemaker.
I'm the adult here. She's kind of yelling at me, but doing it in a way where it's like, can't yell at the man in the room.
Yeah.
The adult.
You can't yell at the 30-year-old like you would.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I get it. I'll go sit in a chair and
sorry to bother you. Okay, bye. Oh man.
It's just fun, okay?
It's fun to hang out with your nieces and nephews if they're chill folks.
I love nieces and nephews. It's great. I'm not. Things may change, but right now, me and my fiance are kind of not really planning on having kids. But we love kids. Like, and everybody always can't get that. They're like, "What? You're so good with kids?" And it's like, yeah, I like them, but it doesn't mean I want one. There's a difference.
Yeah. That's when I stopped liking kids.
I like roller coasters. I'm not gonna fun to put one in my backyard, or there's a lot of things I like that I don't need to have full time.
Yeah, like you like kids, but you know what you like even more? Doing the things you enjoy.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I love kids, but there's one thing I like more, and that's not having them around all the time.
Living your life for yourself. Which sounds selfish, but I don't think it is. You know what? Because...
I don't believe that it's selfish. That seems like a weird word, because it's no shortage of people.
There's no shortage of people, exactly.
I feel like every time you say the whole selfish thing, I feel like, oh, the brainwashing's working. They need more laborers.
Yeah.
Like, well, if you don't have kids, who's gonna work at the factory?
Who's gonna work in our minds?
I think that's ultimately the goal of all that talk. There's no shortage of people. There's kids that need adoption, you know? Like,
yeah, exactly. There's kids that need to be fucking adopted.
I don't feel selfish at all.
Oh, you're not selfish.
Yeah, so
I'm just saying,
as far as kids go.
Also, like, the kid doesn't exist, so it's not like you're being selfish.
Right.
Like, it's not like you're currently taking away from anybody. Like, you're just...
That feeling is just effective brainwashing. You know, they start you early on that stuff.
I would argue it's selfish to bring a person into this world without them asking, you know?
Well, yeah, but if that was the case, we'd be being children of man up here. Nobody would be having kids ever again.
That's true.
We need to develop the technology to ask the fetus if it wants to be born.
Do you want to be born?
They put like they do the whole scan on your stomach, and do you want to be born? The baby's just like, yeah, I'm good. Like, well. All
right. Terminate.
Right, on to the next one.
I like to imagine like it's like they walk up to like they're just like holding up like a dude's nutsack, and they're just like, psst. Any of y'all feel like being born? No, thank you, I'm good. And it's like, okay.
That's only half though. That's not.
Well, no, the sperm is like half of the person, but it has to fertilize the egg, like.
But the egg is also half of the person.
The egg is also half. I don't know which is more of a person, the sperm or the egg.
I think let's end this conversation on neither are a person. It's equally not a person.
What came first, the sperm or the egg?
Chicken.
Yeah, there's actually like no answers to that philosophical debate.
The answer is neither of those are people.
Yeah, neither of those are people.
In my defense, in my opinion.
Crazy.
But that's more than opinion. That's just science.
I've told you about the podcast. My dad wrote a porno.
Yes, I haven't listened to it, but I'm familiar with you mentioning it.
Yeah, there hits a point in the series where like by the third book, so like the dad's a terrible writer, and that's sort of the point. Like the writing's not sexy, right. It's very funny. You just sort of get the enjoyment out of them just like being aghast at like the guy reading his dad's like erotic literature.
Tommy Wiseau wrote a porno kind of
exactly.
thing. Somebody trying to do something seriously but failing so hard that it becomes entertainment.
The dude's also drunk when he's writing it. Like it's like the dude, like it's clear that the dude is just fucking hammered and he doesn't get like he gets drunk. He sits on his patio, which he talks about in like the fan letters or whatever. Sits on his patio, drinks mimosas or whatever, and then just like hammers out a chapter in like an hour and a half, and then never reads it again, and then puts it in a book and then sells it on Amazon. And now it's like an award-winning podcast or whatever.
Did his book sell, or did they sell before the podcast?
No, they found like the books had been out for about 4 years before the son found out about the books.
That's great. I bet you they sell good now that he has a successful podcast, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They sell very well.
That's good. That's a good like mutual thing, because I could see the dad being like, "Hey, you're making fun of me," but the fact that he's the reason they're selling is like, "All right, we both win."
Yeah, the dad's a very good
relationship. Good.
It's a very healthy podcast. I actually recommend it to everybody. It's a lot of fun. But there's a moment. So like by the third book, the dad has decided that as a rule, if he's ever used a word for something, he's never going to use that word again. So
like adjectives or just in general?
Just like nouns. So like if you were like a police officer, instead of saying like police officer or cop every time, he starts going into like law enforcement officer, pre-correctional facility and facilitator, orchestrate. You know, like just getting real weird and hamstrung with trying to say a police officer or something.
I have more questions. Is the dad part of the podcast at all, or are they just drawing these? They're drawing these patterns themselves.
Well, it just becomes evident as they read through the story.
Right, like that's what I'm saying. Does the dad come on and be like, "Hey, so this is the way I did it," or are they just like figuring it out by reading it?
They're figuring it out by themselves. Like the dad does not come on the podcast.
Fun.
Yeah, it's
a lot more fun. And I was hoping that was the answer. I just didn't know. I just need.
Yeah. The dad is his pen name is Rocky Flintstone, and
it's not sexy.
It's not sexy at all, but I don't know. And he calls their mom Wilma, so it's just all weird. But he's very nebulous. Like they always talk about him, but he's never actually on the show. Whenever they do live shows, he's like in the audience, but he's always wearing a disguise apparently. Which is
people know what he looks like and stuff.
No, they don't, which is what makes it even funnier. People don't know what he looks like.
I'm gonna wear a disguise, and the kid's like, "You don't need to," and he's like, "Nah, people are gonna find me."
Yeah, the guy's very eccentric to say the least.
Sounds like it.
And that alone makes adds like an extra layer of interest into the podcast. But yeah, so he never wants to use the same word to describe something. So he just like really reaches. So like he's often using words for like sperm or cum or vagina, et cetera, et cetera. He's trying to find words for. So like the one time he's like, the book is describing a sex scene, and then the guy is coming, and they describe semen as pre-people.
Oh god, that's not sexy at all.
It's not sexy. It's hilarious though. I died laughing.
It's like yeah, it's very funny. I will agree, but it's like if you're trying to get people like to be in the if turned on, the last thing you can do is compare that to people. Yeah. Like, oh, now we need to have like a existential crisis while we're
pre-people.
In the middle of this.
One other choice phrase is in order to describe a penis. In a yachter, like the women characters in the book are having sex with like a man who has a yacht or whatever. So they call his penis his yacht shorts bullseye, which is just poetry.
I'm sure the writer thought so.
He thought so. And it just sounds so clunky and weird. But anyway, it's a great podcast.
Check it out. I've been looking for new stuff.
Yeah.
Because podcasts, they're a lot to, I think, create, and I think a lot of times when I get into one, I binge it and crush it, and then there's just nothing left, like really quickly.
Yeah. This one has a good archive behind it. It does. I am actually all caught up on it, and I'm waiting for the dad to write the next book, so that's the only unfortunate part.
I've been listening a lot to, they just started like a couple months ago, but there's a It's Always Sunny podcast where they're going through each episode just talking.
I want to listen to that.
It's great because it's just those three guys talking, and they're just funny in general. So just conversationally, it's entertaining. But they're kind of figuring it out because none of them have podcasted before, and they started it probably 2 months ago. And they're going each episode and just talking about the episode. But honestly, the episode gets like 9 to 10 minutes of play, and the rest of the time they're just talking about whatever shit. And today's episode was the first one where they straight up didn't even get into an episode. They just talked, and I'm like, okay, yes.
That's what you wanted.
I want them to get start to do more of that, so that I like when they talk about the episodes, but if they do this, then it will become this thing that just goes for a long time.
Just ongoing podcast, like they can just do that.
Yeah, they're not just checking it off. They're having fun just using the media to talk and chat, and that's fun. They're just funny as people, so it's funny just listening to them chat about stuff.
Yeah. And also it's good because it means they're having a good time, which means they're more likely to stick with it.
I imagine the show probably won't go too much longer, maybe, but listening to them on the podcast, they sound very intentional and like they think things through about and they're discussing every episode, I don't know if this holds up, or we've gotten way better or way worse at this or that. And so it sounds like they're actually thinking about that. They're not just trying to let's run this as far into the ground as we can until no one cares anymore.
Right.
They seem to still care about the art, even though it's been how long, how many years?
Yeah. Well, when I said keep this going, I didn't mean the show so much, or I was talking about the podcast.
No, I was just saying in general. I could see the show ending soon because they probably are like, well, once this stops feeling like it's good, we don't want to make it anymore, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not true for every show.
Yeah. And I'm glad that they are, I'm glad that they have that in mind, because, you know, a lot of shows I have fond memories of. It's a lot harder to have those fond memories when the show doesn't end on a high note.
Yeah, it seems silly, but like legacies are important to me caring about a show. Like,
yeah.
The way it ends, or like, can ruin it for me.
Yeah, there are some shows I just don't watch anymore because the ending was fucking awful.
I used to like rant and rave about. I used to rant and rave about Game of Thrones, and then the way it ended wasn't totally terrible, but it was enough that I'm just like, meh, it's a fine show.
Yeah. The ending really took away that first 5 years of goodwill.
Yeah, which is crazy. If that's even possible. It's just, I don't know, I look at it as a whole. That's why I love like miniseries and stuff. They're great.
Yeah,
Kitten's trying to get out of the room. One sec.
Their little, that's our little stream mascot, is the little kitten right there.
She was. Somebody's watching probably saw her jump out, but she's gone now.
Gone. This drawing is just about complete. Once we finish this drawing, before we move on to the next one, do you want to take a quick 5-minute break?
Okay, sure.
Or like 3 minutes. It doesn't need to be like a very long one. Just like I want to get like
works for me. I could use the bathroom, so that's perfect. I was looking through some of our drawings recently, especially the title ones, and I was laughing pretty hard. I forgot about a lot of them. I need to get back on social media and post these because a lot of them are really great.
Yeah, we need a website that just has like a list of like just like goes down. Like if we ever get the waterlogged website back up and running, we need to have like a DrawBomb section or something like that.
Yeah. In the meantime, we could like give it like its own Instagram or and we have a Twitter. We could use that for it. We have been somewhat, but I just don't keep up on it very much because it doesn't get a lot of attention.
Plus, you have to like post each well, Twitter is just terrible for images because it compresses everything so much. I'd love to have like a nice, just like my Squarespace. Like I have a gallery set up that works really nicely. I'm finally happy with what I've done with it.
Squarespace site for DrawBomb.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea. It'd be expensive. We'd have to pay money for it, but I can afford it. I mean, if we split it.
It's not the worst. If we split it, it'll be like, I don't know, $10 each a month. It's not bad.
Something like that. It's not bad at all. Anyways.
Kitten is back.
The kitten's back?
She returned. She hates to be picked up, so I'm going to do just that.
Okay. That way she'll leave you alone.
Yeah, and they can watch me get clawed on screen. Doing pretty good.
She's so big now.
She is. She's like, I don't know, 8 or 9 months, something like that now.
She's in like my favorite stage of cat. Cause she's like, she can handle herself. She's a little rambunctious. She's fun to hang out with. She's got a lot of energy, but she's also still very cute and kitty-like. She's like, she hasn't quite hit full adulthood of a cat yet, so she's still got a lot of cute catness to her right now.
Theo would like to have a word with you if you're saying that adult cats are not very cute.
No, adult cats are still adorable, but like, come on, man, like.
I know what you're saying. Like their eyes are still like giant on their head and everything.
I also just remember my ex's cat Boston, like, he was like around that age when like I was really enjoying him. Boston.
Yeah, she's fun. She's a little skittish, but she's pretty good. Not skittish around us so much, but she was feral. We just found her outside. I think I mentioned that probably several times.
Maybe on the stream. I'm not sure.
I'm sure I did, especially when we first got her. I'm sure I mentioned it because
yeah, probably.
We just talk about whatever's going on.
Yeah. I think this drawing is complete. How do you feel about it?
I agree with you. I'm gonna save this baby. We drew this because it's been fucking cold if you live over where we do.
It's been super
Especially
cold.
Today here it was like windy and cold. Did you guys get that snow that we got?
Probably. We definitely got snow.
I don't know. We got hit like you probably got a foot here, 1.5 feet, something. It was a lot.
All right,
I feel like Yeah, we're good.
Okay, sorry.
Usually get hit by what we just got hit by. I feel like it tends to go that way.
Yeah, that usually happens. I'm assuming the snow that we got is
like
your
Michigan
snow.
and shit.
I have to assume.
Like Michigan and dumps on everybody on the right.
Yeah. Those nor'easters. Well, this wasn't technically a nor'easter, I guess. This was something else. Alrighty, so let's clear this canvas and then let's take a 5-minute break. Be right back, folks.
Do you have a screen ready to go for a break?
I do. It's actually kind of why I had the idea.
Ian's got one of these nice stream decks, which I'm jealous of, and let's put it to use.
Just it keeps.
Wow. Oh, I don't hear you now. Did you mute yourself?
Oh, I'm just very far away from my microphone. Check it out, folks. It's you can't. It's hard to show with the It's there though. I got buttons set up. There's like one. I can put.
There's more than one.
More than one. There's a few. But anyways.
At least.
Let's utilize this baby, and we're going to be right back.
See you soon.
Like 3 minutes or something like that. Alright, and we're back, folks. Sorry for the delay. I know it was a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but we were just getting ourselves a little situated. We're kind of upgrading the stream in areas, and giving ourselves a nice little break is one of them. So deal with it.
Yeah. One of the biggest improvements of our stream is that we stopped doing it in the middle.
Right in the middle of it, and that's my favorite upgrade. That's an upgrade for sure. Not for you.
No, terrible.
Definitely for us, though.
But for us, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's not fantastic unless if somebody like hops in like, oh, what's DrawBomb, and then like let's just be right back for like 10 minutes. But whatever, I don't care. Yeah, it's fine. Brandon, while we were on break, Brandon did mention some ideas for segments we could do in the future, and I think that's a lot of fun. And it made me think of an idea of a segment that we should do right now.
I love that.
That segment. Sorry, my pen is falling apart. The buttons just fell off of it.
Oh, perfect. You don't need those. Well,
I don't use them.
Button.
They fucking suck, actually. They're actually just big lumps that get in the way, but they're good for grip. Anyways, I'll find that later. I hope my chair doesn't run them over, but...
Some people have called me a big lump that gets in the way.
Yeah, big lump. But the idea I had for the segment is that we're gonna do now is draw Scyther from memory.
Fuck.
So get rid of that fucking drawing you're doing.
I'll just throw that in the trash, even though I was enjoying it.
I'm sorry.
It's gonna be worse than the last time we did it. I've regressed. It might be worse than the first time we did it, to be honest.
That's the beauty of it.
I've been playing a lot of Pokemon lately, and it doesn't help. I haven't seen any.
You been playing Pokemon? Which Pokemon?
Yeah. When I got COVID last year, my brother sent me Pokemon Sword, and it's okay.
That's like the one where you run around. You actually like. It's like you see the actual monsters before you get attacked by them.
Somewhat. They've been adding that the last few. They're actually coming out with one this month that's like...
This month?
Yeah, that feels more like Breath of the Wild Pokemon. It's the comparison everybody makes. I don't know if it would be that. That's quite the compliment. But
that sounds dope.
It's like you legit have to like sneak up on the... It's like Monster Hunter meets Pokemon, which is kind of I think what everybody's been looking for. But we'll see how well they pulled it off. Some parts of it kind of look shitty, like Pokemon, like Game Freak always does. Everything feels kind of like... They feel like you have to twist their arm to get them to, like, do good shit. So they're like, this is what you wanted. And you're like, well, yeah, but you know what you did. No, it's not. Yeah. Do the right way. You have all the money in the world. Do it the right way. And they're like, fine. And then the next one's a little bit better. And then, like, 10 iterations of that. And then you... Yeah, exactly. 10 iterations of that. And then you get the game. So we'll get there one day. And this is a step in the right direction. But we'll see how it is. Anyways, I've been playing Pokemon Sword a little bit. And it's fine. My brother buys them for me because he plays a lot of Pokemon and he just wants to crush me in every game, and it's not fun for him if he doesn't have somebody to beat. So he's like, let's play this, and I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, but you're just gonna like stomp me into the dust. Because he's like pays for all the stuff to like transfer his Pokemon from each game to the next, and he's been he has like he has like decades of Pokemon like accumulated, and I can't compete with that.
That's
I'm just a guy.
It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. Oh yeah, Scyther.
He's a bug type. I know that.
He's a buggy bug.
He's green.
Yeah.
Trying to remember. I'm gonna be more intentional in my decisions because I made a lot of mistakes in the past. What does his face look like? I have no idea.
His face looks like a fucking bug face.
He's
like a weird lion.
He's like a mantis meets a
lion sword guy.
Man, this is gonna be bad. All right.
So I'm basically gonna draw one of the alligators from Donkey Kong. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna
do. Your favorite? The show should just be Scyther from memory, and every week we just draw this, and then that's the end of the episode, and then we try again, and then by this point we'd be really good at it, probably.
Probably, yeah. I mean, if we did this more often, we would be better at drawing Scyther from memory.
We could do it every week until we're professionals.
That's true. Well, the thing is, the reason that we're not professionals right now is we don't have a reference. It's like.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying every time that we do this, we then show on air what it actually looks like, and we gradually memorize it.
I guess so, but it'd be more useful if we, like, artistically, it'd be more useful for us if we just had.
But that takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah.
The whole point is that we don't know what he looks like.
Yeah, but that makes us not professional. Like, we'll never be professional level until we practice with a reference.
But I'm saying if we did this every Monday for the foreseeable future, we'd reach a point where we just know what Scyther looks like because we've seen it so many fucking times.
I guess
the same way
true.
that if you said draw Pikachu, we'd have a much easier time because we've seen him a million times.
True. Very true. Yeah, Scyther's like an enigma. He's like hard to pin down. He's got so many parts.
Some of the details, but I don't remember how they go together.
Yeah. Like, I know the main points, but I don't know, like, the packaging that it's in, you know? Like, if you asked me to draw Hitmonlee, I'd bang that out.
Yeah. Actually, that's one of my
favorite
team right now.
Nice.
Wait, Hitmonlee is the one that kicks, right?
Yeah, no, he's got the bandaged legs. Yeah, Hitmonchan punches, Hitmonlee kicks, Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan. I love all the punny names that they have in Pokemon. Like, even, like, if you look into it, like, teams, like, in Pokemon, like, there was one Pokemon game where they had, like, teams that have, like, numbers on their jerseys, and, like, the numbers on their jerseys, if you looked up what the numbers sounded like when read in Japanese, meant this thing, which is a pun because of, like, the aesthetic that the whole team has going on. And that stuff is very interesting and fun to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I think a lot of that's in translation, which is fun too. That, like,
yeah,
it's like, hey, here's some jokes we can. It almost feels like MXC or something, where it's like jokes are being written in after the product's completed.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because, like, good localization will recognize when a joke is being made, and then, like, interpret it as best as they can, like, and, like, for us, I guess. Like, for instance, like, in, like, the Phoenix Wright games, like, all of the characters' names are puns. Like, like, there's a woman who's, like, a mysterious, like, she's clearly hiding a secret, and her name is Sue, and then her last name is Donim, so her full name is Pseudonym. So yeah, so, like, there's, and, like, everyone's got names like that. Like, I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but they are. But, and that's present in the Japanese version too, but, like, obviously the puns work out differently because it's a whole nother language, there's whole new cultural things at play there. Like, there's a detective in the game whose name is Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yeah, it's very on the nose, but it's fun, and he's a great character. But like obviously that's not what the name is, and like if you translated it literally, it's not going to be that in Japanese. It's going to be something more culturally appropriate for Japan. And I love looking that stuff up too. Like if you look it up, somebody will go into like detail and explain the Japanese puns that are going on, which is also
all those jokes are not universal, so like they have to be. We should come up with a jingle for this segment.
Draw Scyther from memory.
What's he look like? I don't know. He's Scyther. He's the star of the show, or something.
I'm trying to think of what rhymes with memory.
Hemorrhage. No.
Plenty.
You'd have to combine two words. I don't think it's any one.
Yeah, we gotta either do a slant rhyme. You definitely gotta do like if you want to get all the syllables of memory in the rhyme, which is what I like to do. You gotta get multiple words in there. Oh wait, okay, memory better be.
Frenemy. Well, that's.
Can you draw a Scyther from? Wait, no.
Enemy.
It's a enemy, or enemy's good.
Our.
The human brain fickleness is our enemy. Can you draw a Scyther from memory?
There we go. We gotta make this. But let me sing one of the lines. I have to be able to. I want to sing some of the.
Yeah, you do. You gotta be part of it.
Just give it to me, and I'll do the like other octave.
Okay. You want to do baritone or do you want to do tenor?
Doesn't matter. I can go falsetto if you want me to.
Ready.
You just give me the product, and I'll add something.
I'd be happy to do that for you. For us.
This is the kind of shit we need to do more of.
Yeah. Well, we need to do Scyther from memory more often, but yeah, I don't think you like this segment.
I'm okay with it. We just gotta make it quicker.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be
or maybe we do it like once a month versus every episode.
Yeah, we did it like the first time I made us do it 3 episodes in a row, I think.
Yeah. Well, no, and I do think it'd be a funny segment if we keep trying, because eventually we'll get there, and then we can retire the segment.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We'll just draw Scythers in the corner just for funsies.
Do it once a month. It might not even take that long. I bet you we'll get it. If we do it once a month, I bet you we'll have it in like half a year.
Here's the thing: do we have to form a pact where we don't draw a Scyther off stream?
Sure. Why not? Deal. I've never drawn it off stream before, so why not?
Same.
Why start now?
What's changing? That's true. I think I'm closer to you.
Retention is our own worst memory.
Can you draw a Scyther from memory?
Yeah, you're probably closer. I don't feel like mine's good at all right now.
I think yours is looking like a Charizard or Charmeleon mixed with Scyther.
Yeah, he's got some Charmeleon qualities.
The Charmyther.
Scyther evolves too.
Does he?
Into Sizers? That's where we'll have to go after we...
Yeah, I guess so. We'll just go one Pokemon at a time.
That's actually would be fun.
Yeah.
To each week. Well, not each week, but every once in a while, attempt one. He turns into... Well, I'll look it up after we finish these. Actually, I'm done with mine, so I'm going to look it up.
I'm pretty much done with mine, yeah. Start posting it on the screen.
I guess... Well, I can do it, yeah. Okay. Alright, so what do we got here? Yeah, this won't take long before we're good at it. But... Let me find a good picture. Okay. I'm seeing some things here. There's some things we're doing right, some things we're doing wrong.
Okay.
Yours is close.
Yeah, suck it, bitch! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Man. No need of that.
Sorry.
No need for that.
No need.
We're all friends here. Mine's good in some ways too.
Yours is fitting the chunkiness of I completely forget that there's like a fucking Okay, so while we have Scyther, your head is closer. Your body's chunkiness is closer.
My arms are in some ways closer, in some ways not.
Yeah, you have.
He's got like a bug butt on the bottom. I need to remember.
He's got like a hornet's butt. Let's delete.
I keep making mine like a dinosaur.
Yeah, let's delete our Scythers real quick. Okay, let's just.
Really? Why? I want to save this.
Oh yeah, save it. But I want to try drawing us like just mapping out the shapes. Then, look, unless you're opposed.
No, I'm with that. One sec. Save this. Okay. So now, here's what I'm gonna do.
No.
Delete your drawing. Or wait, what were you wanting me to do?
I wanted to have Scyther on screen while I mapped out the shapes.
Oh, how about you draw Scyther from memory?
Okay. Oh fuck. Okay.
That's. What were you able to retain from?
Normally I pull the twist on you, but you pulled the twist on me this time.
Yeah, how do you like that?
Oh,
bitch!
Man. I feel got.
I feel like I'm gonna do okay.
Alright. Give it a go. My brain's memory. Wait. The flaws of a brain is our own worst enemy. Can you draw a Scyther?
From memory.
From memory.
I know both of our drawings are up on the screen. I'm trying to focus on your own test.
Yeah. I don't want to be swayed by you. Is the drawing good? Well, it better be, cause we're gonna draw Scyther from memory.
From memory.
Heard the sound Scyther makes in Smash Bros. At least the Nintendo 64 version.
I didn't know he was in Smash Bros.
Yeah, well, he's not like a player character. He's like an.
Oh yeah. Throw the ball.
Goes like say.
So they're going off the anime.
Yeah. Because what in the American anime he goes like Scyther, right? When he does.
I don't know. He might make that noise, but I'm saying like not the video game.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
yeah.
Like, the noise that like a Game Boy could make at the time.
Yeah, they could only make.
They stuck with some of those. Like some of them have gotten way more better, and then they've left some of the sounds from the original game.
Oh, interesting. That's fun. See, Game Freak made the mistake, like, by just adding 50 generations of a shit ton of new Pokemon instead of, like, maybe incrementally adding Pokemon, and then, like, what they've been doing more lately, where they have, like, the variations of the same Pokemon that are, like, from different, like, islands, so they, like, look a little different, which I think is a really fun concept. Because now, like, they have like 1,000 Pokemon they have to remember instead of like fun variations of like a few. So it's kind of like they shot themselves in the foot. Like sure, maybe incrementally add new Pokemon, but then I feel like there wouldn't be as much fatigue for new Pokemon as maybe a lot of people feel.
Yeah, it's a tough needle to thread. I think the answer is be more creative in your game design and not just make the game 1,000. Which there seems like they're starting to try to do. The new one also, additionally, I was talking about that a little bit. It's supposed to be like before everything. It's like feudal. I don't know if that's true, but it's like way in the past. So a lot of the Pokemon designs are like less evolved.
How have I not heard about this? This is crazy.
Yeah, I think it's called Arceus or Arceus. I don't know how it's pronounced. It looks pretty cool.
Look into it once.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. There's we'll see if it ends up being as good or not. But there's the clips are like somebody sneaking up through the grass and trying to like throw a Pokeball, and then like occasionally like they're running from like attacks from Pokemon, and they have to throw out their own Pokeball to like release a Pokemon that will fight in their defense.
Cool.
Stuff like that. I don't know. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I dig that. That sounds fun.
It's at least a step in the right direction.
It's different for sure, and I think like people have been wanting a more legit.
Pokemon
sort of
hasn't
like
been different in 10 years, like in forever, ever.
Yeah, and like
It's
game
still the same-
design.
It's still red and blue right now. Game design.
Yeah, and game design has like evolved so much, and like sure, like that. It's a lot to be like, can you make your game like the crazy immersive new games that come out nowadays while you're also like including 1,000 Pokemon or something like that? Like, sure, that's tough. It's not easy to.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, they haven't changed anything about their.
They haven't.
They've been like, if it keeps selling, make the same game. They haven't changed anything in all these years.
They've had all the time in the world.
They've changed very minimal things, like, oh, now you can go online to do this. Oh, your bike can go on the water. Like, it's just weird little things, but nothing's like substantial, like gameplay mechanic difference.
It's basically the same game with like a prettier bow each time.
Yeah. So I think they're finally reaching, like, their sales are slowing down a little bit, and people are complaining. So they're like, all right, we gotta do that.
I want Dark Souls, but it's Pokemon.
Right.
Right? So here's the thing.
Yeah, this one looks a lot like Monster Hunter Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So I just want to say real quick, I think you're at a slight advantage because when you deleted the Scyther, I did not know that he would not be making a reappearance, whereas I think
I will tell you, I didn't do like a mental, like, alright, lock everything down.
You say that, but like the subconscious is crazy. No, like I believe that you did that consciously, but subconscious. Like, I think I've told this on stream, but that fucking there's like a poster in the background of like one of the corkboards of Fight Club, and I ended up recreating it as a logo that I tried to like.
I remember that.
Make for somebody, yeah. And like
I was part of that project.
I had never mentally paid attention to that poster before, and I somehow ended up recreating it. It still blows my mind to this day. Like, and like, I didn't realize I'd done it until like a year after I'd made that logo for us, and then I watched Fight Club with my.
Okay. You don't. Yeah,
the game.
Worried about it.
The game never came out. Whatever happened with that guy? Like, does he code at all? Like,
I'm sure he still does, but I just think I don't know. He's not working on any new projects, at least at the moment that I know of.
It's a shame how he just kind of gave up. I was kind of excited about that game.
It just was done by people with more money and better, and it was already out, so we just decided to not do that specific thing.
I think there was still a market for it. Like, if we had maybe adjusted, I don't know.
Yeah, probably right. I don't know. Either way, I wasn't in charge.
Yeah, it was his call. He was paying us. But you were kind of paying me too.
Yeah. It's alright.
Whatever. I think those songs are actually in the show's catalog of music now.
They should be. They're good. You did good work.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Some at least not all of them, but like the Tavern Illustrated one that I still like.
Yeah.
leave in my portfolio because I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool.
I like those drawings a lot. It's a bummer that nothing ever happened with that, because like the style of it, I think would have sold it. I think the style of the game, like if it was a solid game with like what we had bringing to it, it would have been cool.
I'm feeling pretty good about this Scyther.
I'm feeling.
Come on, man. Where's the wings? You know there's wings.
I was about to say. I just realized I forgot to add wings to mine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna reveal it yet because I know. You know. I don't know. You just look pretty good too. I think the face I'm a little closer, but I think the body.
Yeah, the face. I couldn't.
The body, I think you're way closer.
The face I took a lot of mental notes on, and I remembered none of them. The body, like once I realized, like, oh, wasp body, kind of all clicked for me there. I think
he's got kind of like a snout, like a dinosaur or alligator face or something.
Yeah.
You tried that on the first one, it didn't work so well, but all right, let's see here. Oh, okay. Before I reveal it,
okay,
I want to take stock. Okay.
If you had to grade this like a school paper.
Okay. If I have to grade it like a school paper, mine gets a... Well, I feel like... they're both better and worse in certain ways. Yeah, I'm just gonna post it.
We've both regressed and progressed.
Well, yeah, it's definitely better than the first time around, but... Sorry. DrawBomb. Or DrawPile. Give me trouble.
DrawPile be a dingus sometimes. I tell you what.
It's not where it need to be. Oh, Sorry. I just read Mike Judge just, there's the drawing. Said he's working on a new Beavis and Butthead thing for Paramount Plus, new movie.
I've actually talked to a couple of the people who
Really?
who work on it. Yeah.
Do you know any secrets?
No, I don't know anything like that. I think the one guy was on the Lord Spew stream, and he was talking a little bit about either his old time. I think he was talking about working on the new one, or either way. I don't know. I forget exactly, but I have.
Mike Judge revealed a few sketches, and they were both them as old, and I'm hoping they're old the whole time. But I could see them not doing that. I could see it just being like the previous movie where like they have the trippy scene in the desert and they meet their dads for a second.
Yeah. I could see it being
I'm hoping they're just old the whole thing. That would be perfect.
That'd be amazing. And I could also see Mike Judge going that way too. Mike Judge is a little artsy sometimes when he wants to.
And why not? He's brought back Beavis and Butthead like 4 times, so why not make it different this time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like they go away for like a decade, and then he's just like, they're back for like a season, and then they're gone. And I feel like that sense of humor would hit now more than ever, honestly, because like, with like anti-comedy and TikTok and all that shit, memes, everybody's sense of humor has gotten even dumber in a good way, I think.
I agree.
But yeah. All right. So, what do you think about these drawings?
So I think, they're both.
You got the torso better. Your wing shape is a little better. You also got like the joints figured out a little better. I know that there's like balls for the joints. You kind of did that.
The legs. I'm missing one. I'm missing that little green meaty section in the middle that's kind of acting as the kneecap.
My head's a little better.
Your head is much better. I keep forgetting that it's got like that weird hair on the side of it.
And the wings are all up. We keep doing the like dragonfly opposite direction.
Yeah,
wings,
true.
Or butterfly, but they're all up.
It's just the 2 wings. I guess they have like that little section at the end there. The big shoulder, little arm section, fucking blade. And the hard part is going to be getting the vest and the head memorized. I think the rest are gonna fall into place quicker.
I think 1 or 2 more tries I can get this. Now that I'm actually putting effort into it. All the other times I'm like, fuck this segment, and then I like don't pay attention, and then next time I'm like, god damn it, this again. Yeah. But now I'm like focusing. I want to ace this.
Well, we'll do it next week. Now it's time for rock, paper, pencil.
Cipher from memory, everybody. Let me see.
Draw a cipher from memory. Because if we do it again, then we'll get better at it too soon. You know, we have to.
Once a month, I think, is the
once a month
we should do it.
Yeah. This will be fun though. I'm excited to see how this progresses.
Yeah. Once we complete it, we'll have to move on to a different Pokemon.
Maybe Raichu.
If you're too, I could do a better job with Raichu because I know he's very Pokemon or very Pikachu-esque, and I know the difference.
I think if you tried to draw a Raichu, it would. Should we draw Raichu from memory real quick?
If you want to, or we can move on to Raichu. Let's move on. Let's not drive this well up immediately.
I feel like if you drew a Raichu from memory, though, it would look a lot different than you expected. Not wildly different, but I think there are some like I would probably end up drawing like a purple version of like that fake Pikachu from that old show Drawn Together.
You don't even remember what color Raichu is?
It's purple.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat you at that one. I'm just don't look him up between now and then because I want you to continue.
Am I thinking of Rattata? There's a purple Pikachu. There's a one-eyed, one-horned purple Pikachu. Purple Pikachu eater. Get rid of the cipher off his fucking screen. I don't know, man.
Get rid of the cipher.
Lose track.
Rock, paper, pencil. We haven't done this in a while. This is fun. We should make an intro for this too.
We should. We need to make note of our stings that we need.
Yeah.
I downloaded a whole bunch of plugins for OBS. One of them is actually the ability to write notes for scenes. I should write these notes down in that thing. Although I don't know if I installed it.
What do we draw for this rock, paper, pencil?
Fucking dick, dude. No, I don't know.
I will say, I got VR recently, as you already know, and I've been... A thing a lot of games like to do, because it's fun, and I also think it's pretty, like, simple technology from a developer standpoint, is leave markers around, and you can pick them up and just draw on stuff. And so, man, I've just been drawing, like, dicks and writing boobs and stuff like that.
That's a great idea.
All sorts of surfaces in the games.
That's great. So how about we draw worst VR game or worst VR experience.
All right.
Out with that at all, but I didn't. I was content.
Color it or something if you want.
Yeah, I guess so. That's good.
You're like, oh, I spoke too soon. I should wait until he was done to make that comment.
Oh, I'm happy. I realized what I was doing and I felt bad. I was just making sure my whole stream deck setup was going.
So,
what layer did you draw on?
Oh shoot! I'm at the bottom. Chaps too. I thought. I see. What I did wrong now.
Just move the layer up or something like that.
Okay, yeah, I'll move chaps 2 to the top. Worst VR game?
Worst VR experience. Because that opens it up.
Yeah.
Although if we make it strictly a game, that's also a whole other cat. Like, I feel like the
worst VR experience. I think that's vague enough that we can come up with some funny stuff.
I will say though,
it's too much.
I will say though, I think if we were to do I'm cool with doing worst VR experience. I think if we were to do worst VR experience, I would do a different drawing than if I were to do worst VR game. If that makes sense.
I'm good with either one. What do you prefer?
No, I'm totally cool with the worst VR experience.
It won't change my plan. So
yeah. But I don't think we should ever discount worst VR game from possibility of the topic, because I think it's different enough that
okay,
we could get some answers out of that. That's all I want to say.
Works for me. All right, I'm gonna hide Ian 1, 2, and 3. You just hide. How about Chaps 1, 3, and Guess 3?
Okay, and guess what? The camera is going to get both, so don't look at the stream either.
Oh, awesome. You figured it out.
Yeah. Well, it's actually just a bonus benefit of the fact that...
my side.
Well, no, it's on a different like, window. So, you know. Okay. So don't look at it, though.
I won't. I already minimized it already.
I'm turning off my preview, so I can't see what's happening on the stream anymore. If this shit goes haywire,
right.
Okay. This is more fun for the viewer. See, this is those upgrades for the viewer. We take a 5-minute break. You get to see both sides of rock, paper, pencil. This is what we're talking about here, folks.
This game mode is actually like something fun now. It's not this fun. It's just watching me draw and then.
Okay.
Good idea for this, I think.
I have an idea. I'm trying to figure out the best way to.
Watch us draw the same thing.
I know, right? We've done that before.
more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah, this mode's really fun if everybody can see it now.
Yeah. I'm very excited. I'm also excited because I downloaded a plugin. I already told you about this, but now there's like specific transitions happening for each scene. Oh my god. Breath of fresh air for me because I've been bugged about that like for so long. In OBS Streamlabs, what I used to stream before, you could set up a transition for each individual scene, like go into this different scene so that you had more of a structure for like, you know, this is a fade, this is a wipe, this is a cut. But now I can actually do that with this version of OBS because somebody made a beautiful, simple to use plugin.
About time.
Yeah. I also found a plugin that shows, like, if I'm playing a game, it shows, like, the keyboard or controller input on the screen. Which I'm gonna start using because I think that's cool to have. Shame that we don't have anybody watching today because I would love to get a check on the audio levels too.
I mean, last week they said they were pretty good. Yeah, we'll have to double check.
I was a little deep fried for my liking last week, and I think you might have been a little more deep fried for my liking this week. Okay. But I did turn that down about at the halfway point. So hopefully, I mean, you were still audible. Like it's not like we lost what you had. But I think your audio quality is probably a little better now. We're both very loud. I turned us up. I looked up some tips on how to manage audio levels in OBS, and the one guy said, "Hey, my sound is great." I think I checked out his video and it sounded good. And he said like he has everything, like all the sound that you want to hear, up in the red, like at the top, because apparently that's not actually 0 dB. That's like 2 decibels below 0 dB or something like that. So. He basically like specified where you want specific elements to go. I'm kind of following that structure, and it makes a lot of sense if what he says about the top levels not being true, 0 decibels being true. I'm gonna watch this stream once this is all over. Just
I'm so glad you're in charge of this now. That would never happen with me. I'm like, oh yeah, he said that, cool, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it makes. Yeah, but like it helps because I like, you know, knowing decibels and stuff, that's good for like music. So having that sort of insight, like I can at least make the audio good, and I think the audio is in my opinion, a crucial part of any experience with a stream like this or something like that. So you know, happy to. Plus this, you know, like I said before, this was just like you were handling everything. I was just showing up and drawing. You were getting the OBS, you were getting the, like, this is a much more economical experience for you now, and I'm happy about that.
I'm doing my best.
Yeah. It was tough, though.
Yeah. My best is...
Well, no, your best was also being, like, stretched between, like, 8 different things, because you were handling, like, everything on the stream.
Well, I appreciate your help. It's nice for me.
Absolutely. And hopefully this stream is...
If you ever want me to do anything, I can.
Well,
I'll work with the we'll come up with more stuff for the stream.
Actually, I had an idea. So, and I actually thought that maybe this would be something that you might have fun with. Do you know about stingers?
I think so. From like a film perspective.
Maybe. Like a stinger is, at least for streaming purposes, I think this might be an editing term, I'm not sure. But basically when we transition from one screen to another, we can have like a little animation pop up that like acts as the transition. Okay. I think we could, if we did we've been talking about doing an animation for the intro of the show for the longest time. We should get around to doing that.
And we've started it.
Yeah. We just need to actually like
finish.
You've done the most for it, I think.
And now that you're like, you've practiced your animation a lot this past year, I feel like you do a better job than me for the rest of it.
Well, I mean, we'll see, but I think we definitely need to sit down and storyboard something out. Yeah. I do like. So a lot of the viewers might not know this, but a lot of where we started involved doing one of the big things we did that cemented our relationship as collaborators was making animation blindly without seeing what the other half was doing in some ways, and we can get more into that later, but like we kind of would give you hand the other person a vague kind of guideline, and then they would make something, and then the next person would build off that, and we ended up getting this product at the end that was a surprise to us as well as our viewers. Kind of our first foray into collaboration, one of them. And I think it'd be fun to do that somewhat with the intro too, where we just kind of like, oh yeah, like I'd love to do that together a bunch of different pieces that we just made separately and like didn't have to necessarily run by each other. Yeah, I would also love to do an animation like that, not even like in a strictly, because like most of those were Clock Crew related, but like I would love to do one of those animations with you, but just like not in the Clock Crew context. Oh yeah, me too. Like I'm kind of, as much as I enjoyed my time in the Clock Crew, I think I'm kind of done with that kind of stuff. No, I feel it's not relevant, and you put a lot of work into something that can't really show it to everyone. It's not relevant at all, unfortunately. Yeah. I think if anything, what we could do is we could make one of those animations, have it start out, we're these clocks, but we go through this like time warp, and then like we're humans, and then the rest of the thing is like it's the same sort of dynamic, but we're just humans for the whole time. Yeah. I miss rock, paper, pencil. We haven't done this in a second. We haven't done rock, paper, pencil in a hot minute. I think with any segment, the more you do it, the less you kind of want to like keep stuff fresh. Don't try to do the same thing every week. But you know, if we had a group of people that were like very into us doing the same things, I'm sure we would. But right now it's kind of free form, and from one week we'll have like 10 people watching, next week we'll have none. Yeah, maybe we should do this more often when we do have like more people watching. They might get a kick out of this. Yeah. If we do, we'll try it. Yeah. We chose the 1 week where nobody's watching to do rock, paper, pencil. I'm okay. I mean, we've done it so many times, we can do this time in the future. And also, us taking a break from doing it kind of keeps it fresh for ourselves, too. Because, like, we were doing it, like, every stream. That's kind of what I was getting at when I said, like, you know, you get to a point where you're like, alright, we do this every week. Stop for a while. Yeah. You know, since the New Year is upon us, or is here, on us is usually like... do you know that means that WrestleMania is upon us? Oh shit, I forget every time. How soon? When did it happen last time? February? If I knew that answer, then I would have been able to answer the previous question of mine. Okay. I don't remember. It might have been April. I might be just remembering time in the past 2 years. It might be April. I might be overshooting it right now. That new wrestling game never came out in between. It hasn't yet. Yeah. Curious where that's at. I'm gonna look that up as soon as the show ends. Yeah, I did buy a wrestling game, and it's like you can play it online, and it's supposed to be goofy. I think we would have fun with it. It's called like something like that. It's called like Empire World Wrestling or something like that. Maybe we could do a DrawBomb After Dark sometime with it. I don't know. Yeah, I would like to do like. The fact that we only stream once a week makes it so I don't want to go off brand too much, but if we aired more, I would be more willing to like
we do DrawBomb after dark for sure, but I don't want to do it on a Monday.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, maybe one day we'll be able to up the stream amount from 1 day a week to like 2 or 3.
I'd like to. It's tough, especially with how busy I've been lately. Like, it makes it even tougher.
Yeah, same.
If I could sort of be in a situation where I'm more in charge of my own schedule, which I am right now, but not entirely.
I think if I didn't work a day job, we would be able to.
For sure.
Kind of on me,
That's not entirely on you. I don't think I'd be in a good position right now to add a day to my schedule right now, but I would love to be able to. And I think this freelance stuff keeps up in a good way. That's more possible.
I'm almost done.
I am just about done. Are you coloring yours?
Yeah. But I'm doing it quick. Not my best coloring job. But yeah, no. So I'm kind of scribbling it out fastly. Not too worried about the colors, but I am coloring.
I'm like having a hard time with this perspective effect. If I had to write crazy perspective right now.
That's something I've really been admiring about your. Now, you've done it in the past too, but lately I feel like you've been really pushing yourself to kind of surprise people with the angles and perspectives, and like, you know, I really appreciate that. I feel like I could do that.
Thank you. That is actually something I've been very intensely focusing on lately. Thank you. I've been watching a lot of like fundamentals videos because, like, you know, I've been drawing for like 30 years, I guess, or as long as I can remember.
Absolutely.
But you know, I was like, I can draw good, but like something's not off, and I think it's at like a foundational level. So I've been watching like these YouTube tutorials and just like going over these lessons that are just like, draw these boxes in 3D and draw this cone in 3D, draw these different things at this angle.
How you do it.
Yeah, and I think I've been doing that a lot lately, and I think if I just keep with that, then the work will pay off more in my.
I mean, I've been noticing. You've always been great, but I've been noticing immediate changes.
That's really good to hear.
Shows.
Makes me really happy to hear that. Alright, I'm coloring this in, and then I am just about done. Once we show the results, I'm gonna turn on the outro song. It doesn't mean we have to stop right then and there.
Right.
But
I get it.
I wish there was a way for you to hear the outro song.
I hear it in my head all day long.
Yeah.
DrawBomb is his studio audience. I do love that song.
You know, I made it on a whim, and it's weird how.
That's the best stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
My favorite drawings are just things I've created in like a fluke in like a half hour versus spending all day on it or days.
It's because it's raw creativity right there.
Mm-hmm. There's something to be said about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna sing it because.
You have anything to plug, Ian?
Feels like it's too early to plug it, but my album.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to put that song on. Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you meant in the show.
Oh.
Go
I
ahead.
haven't. Oh yeah. Oh wait. I haven't turned the song on yet.
That's all right. I mean,
But I will.
You know, you don't have to. You can plug without the song.
I feel like we need to plug. Well,
It's up to you. You're in charge now.
let's Let's wait before we start doing plugs. Let's and I'm not in charge. This is
I'm your subordinate.
the partnership here. This is a
Don't fire me, mister. I need this job.
this
I get $100 every 6 months. I need this job.
This is a collaboration. This ain't nobody's show, but both of ours. But I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna wait till we actually show our results and have the song going before we do plugs.
I'm not counting on it, but if there's anybody in the chat, know that we can't see that right now because we're not looking at the screen. So don't feel sad if we're not responding.
I can see the chat. I just can't see the.
Okay. Never mind.
Can't see the screen because in OBS they have like you can turn off the previewing, which actually saves your computer a lot of CPU. But
oh, those CPUs.
The CPUs.
I've heard about those.
CPU CPB.
How many CPUs you got in that bad boy?
CPUs.
Yeah, not just CPU. It's CPUs.
Yeah.
I think that's a commercial for like a shitty hear it Intel. It's not CPU. It's CPUs.
I also kind of I see that as like the tagline for you remember that I don't know if you remember Friends that well, but on Friends Joey was on a show called Mac and Cheese.
I remember that, yeah.
Okay, where he's got the little detective robot, and that's sort of what I imagine that being the tagline for, is CPU, more like CP us, and they're doing the arms crossed backs to each other thing.
With that scan in the 90s, do people know the word CPU back then when they were all just buying their nobody was building a computer back then. It was just you get your Windows 95 from Best Buy.
Yeah, I don't think back then it would fly as much, but nowadays. But then again, that was the only era where that sort of show would have flew. It's weird that there was no day where that tagline would have had its day in the sun.
It's a real shame. Well, guess we gotta rent a show.
Like if you cry every time.
Cry every time.
Yeah. What was the movie we were watching recently where we made the I said I'd love you 5 ever joke?
Was
that The Matrix?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That just cracks me up every time though, I don't know why.
I love you 5 ever. Love you cry every time.
I think it's the if you cry every time. I think that's just the
icing on the cake. As far as me,
oh yeah. Are you gonna plug?
Oh wait, yeah, you didn't start your plugs yet. Never mind.
Hold on.
I can start with the plugs because I don't really have anything. DrawBomb every Monday.
Every Monday.
It's a great show.
We're gonna have to plug this again now.
Nah, it's fine. You get wonderful art like these 2 drawings, the one that I know about and the one that I don't know about, but I'm assuming it's pretty good. That's what you'll get. Join us. If you're artistic at all, and even if you're not, we also love to draw along with you guys, and we have a Discord. Oh wow, there it is. That button works well.
It does, doesn't it? I love it.
We love to draw with you guys, so join in.
I love it.
Even if we've had people draw in Paint, Microsoft Paint with their mouse, and it's all. We almost like that better. Just join.
Anything
us. More fun that way.
Yeah.
Collaboration's great.
Okay.
So.
Ready.
Yeah. How about you, Ian? Anything you would like to plug, or do you want to reveal this first? We can do that.
Let's do the reveal, and then let's get to the plugin. So.
Okay. Let's see.
Super.
Like a drum roll sound or something.
I've turned your okay.
I can't see yours still.
You can't see mine yet?
Oh, I see. I forget. It's on me to reveal. There it is. Oh yeah, that's a bad game. And with a title like that, you should know you just don't go down the hallway, you just turn the game off.
Just don't look in the doorway.
They'd be like, how did they get the model so accurate? 3D.
We facial scanned your face and deconstructed it and figured out what your parents would look like.
Boy, that's the technology nobody wants.
Right? Oh man, I like yours too. Bees too. Like, I like how it's. I keep thinking of Bee Movie.
Oh yeah.
But so I wish it was the sequel to Bee Movie. But I also like how.
Is haptic feedback. The whole room is set up with airsoft guns that just shoot you from every angle while you get attacked.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so it's a VR experience of you getting attacked by bees.
You're getting stung.
Okay, yeah, it's not you're a bee.
No, you're not a bee. There
Okay.
are bees coming for you.
I like it. I think we're gonna have to put it to the chat to decide which one's better.
Well, maybe we'll have to do it on Twitter because we don't have anybody in the chat right
We
now.
don't have anybody on chat right now, but you know, sign off for the chat if you Twitter.
If you're in the chat, make yourself known and you'll get full. Like, if you're one person in the chat, you get to decide the winner right here and right now. So don't be shy if you're in there.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to ask you, Brandon, do you notice something I did with the
I did. I was just about to say it. The bomb is blue. And we're different colors too. I look like I have a rash on my face. And I do.
A little bit. I might change the. I made it so that the colors got flipped around a little bit, just a little something to spice it up.
No, I like it. I like it. It's cool.
Well, gosh, that was a great episode. I think that was actually a really good episode, and I mean that legitimately.
It's a shame no one saw it.
No, we're on our game tonight. I think it's the 5-minute break.
We're doing pretty good last week too. So
We've been on a roll.
Let's keep this gravy train rolling. I'm gonna save this drawing real quick. Ian, do you have anything to plug?
I do. It's a little early to plug it, but I think
It's 10:06.
no, my music coming out on Spotify February 13th, I believe. Bless you. Oh my god.
I would like to plug up my nose.
Yeah,
Am I
wow.
right?
Jesus.
Oh boy. My viral load just exploded onto Twitch.
Thank God the cat wasn't there.
I
Sneezed right on her.
They would leave.
Yeah.
They would have gone outside.
Covered her in snot. No, but album's coming out February 13th. It's music that's already out. Go to my Bandcamp and you can find all those songs anyways, but it's going to be remastered so it sounds a lot crisper, more accessible. You can get it on Apple Music, you can get it on Spotify, you can get it on Tidal, you can get it on fucking anything. Kanye West can listen to it if he wants to now. So it's going to be going up. He might steal it, yeah. So it's going to be going up on February 13th. That'll be fun. And then I plan on just putting out more shit, but that's just the first step. Just getting that first one up and around and getting a Spotify profile. But aside from that, I'm working on some other projects. I can't tell you anything about those yet, more than I've already told on this current stream. That's it for me.
Zooed into oblivion. You said too much, man. You said too much.
Sign those NDAs.
Well, on that note, thanks for watching.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Until next time, have yourself a drop day.
I like it.
Do we have a sign off? We don't have a sign off.
We don't, but that's boy, how could you improve upon that?
Could we? I don't even know, man. I don't know.
Hey, anyways, bye!
Bye!